Hello, so we decided to talk about Daimler AG company. Firstly, we'll do a quick presentation of the company, then we'll study the balance sheet, and then we'll talk about the income statement. So Daimler AG is a German company, and its headquarters is located in Stuttgart in Germany. It is a manufacturer of cars and vehicles and supplier of financial services. It is also the pioneer of automotive engineering, so its main goal is shaping the future of mobility in a safe and sustainable way. It focuses on intelligent connectivity of its vehicles, and it's an international company as it sells its vehicles and their services in nearly
First, I
every
will be
country.
talking about the balance sheet. I will present the debit side with all of the assets of the company. Regarding the non-current asset, they represent an amount of 174,000 millions of euros, or 14,000 more than the previous year. This amount is mainly represented by the financial assets. Then the current asset represents an amount of 127,000 millions of euros. They include inventories, which have decreased a little since 2018 because a big part of the inventories have been transferred to other subsidiaries of Daimler. And receivables have the biggest amount in the current assets. The total asset represents an amount of 300 millions of euros, which has increased since the last year.
Thank you, Lina, for your presentation on the assets of the company. We'll now move on to the liabilities of the balance sheet, also known as the credit side. First, see the non-current liabilities, which we know are the debts the company has to pay in more than 1 year. And down here, we see the current liabilities, which we know are the debts the company has to pay in less than 1 year. And for the total liabilities, the sum of these two would be 239,597 millions of euros. We now move on to the net equity of the company. This is used to calculate the value and the assets of a business. In this case, we will calculate the net equity by subtracting the total assets of the company minus the total liabilities of the company. And we will get a total of 62,841 millions of euros for the total equity of Daimler AG.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the income statement, which will show us the financial situation in which the company is at the moment. This is the income statement, and we will use the consolidated one, which means that it is the sum of industrial business and the Daimler Mobility, and it will be expressed under millions of euros. We can find positive values and negative values. The positive ones are revenues and the negative ones are expenses. And the two most important ones are the revenues and the cost of sales, which are really big numbers.
So as Beth said, the group's total revenue amounted to 172 billion euros, while the cost of sales amounted to 143 billion euros, which gives us a total gross profit of 29 billion euros, which is 4 billion lower than the previous year. So therefore, as we add up all the income, which are the positive values, and we subtract to those all the negative values, which are the expenses, we end up to a total amount of 3.8 billion euros, which is way less than the previous year, which was 10.5 billion euros. However, to this amount, we need to subtract the income taxes. So therefore, we end up with net profit, which is 2.7 billion euros, which is also way less than the previous year, which was 7.5 billion euros, which therefore shows the overall performance of the company for the year 2019.